What up, everybody? How y'all doing today?
What's happening? What's
Good.
happening?
How are you?
It's a beautiful day. Let's talk under the tree podcast. I'm Mr. What's up, Jay Walking?
What's going on with you? What's going on, people under the tree?
What's up, T Smalls? It do what it do. What up, my friend?
What's going on, man? We talking under the tree.
What's up, Carolina Dirt? What's happening?
Ain't nothing was happening with you.
I'm gonna lay off you with the Green Bay Packers. That's another story. In your bubble over there with them dirty birds. I'm not in the mood to, talk about. Oh, here you go. We have certified master life coach, Miss Benita. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good evening, everybody.
Welcome. Yeah, welcome. Everybody, welcome. T Small, show her some love.
Man, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Since we're together, we might as well stay. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? We talking under the tree.
I think you can back up that old school group called the Spinners.
Hey, I do what I do when I can do it, bro.
Well, I won't confirm or deny your talents, but we talking right now about pass the plate, submissive women, and why do women do what the pastors say? You know what I'm saying?
This is a lot, cuz you unpacking a lot right now.
Yeah, we don't back in like, that's right. It's called a triple threat.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you can handle it.
Now, man, look, hey, I'm in the seat, man. You in the driver's seat. I'm in the back seat. Let's go.
Man, you dealing with the heavyweights right now, big dog.
Right.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. So let's jump straight into it. We're gonna jump straight into, passing the plate. It's a big conception or misconception when you go to church. We don't want to put all our money in the, collection plate because we always see, sometimes the mega pastors, driving in a Bentley or a limousine. I'm gonna start off with you, Mr. Jay Walken. What's your perception of all those things like that? What you think?
The mega church is hard for me to digest, cuz like it's hard, man. It's hard. What I'll say is if you have a church with thousands upon thousands of members, there shouldn't be any struggling members in your congregation. You feel me?
Right.
If you have a mega church and everybody in the church is benefiting from getting the word there, then I can appreciate that. But if you got people in there giving their lights is off, I'm thinking you are attacking, I'm thinking you victimizing your congregation.
Right.
That's just me.
Right.
You know what, bro? And ladies, I used to go to a church, and the first Sunday I went there, the pastor was sitting in the pew, so he looked down at me in the pulpit. He looked down at me and said, "How much you got?" So I yelled back to them, "How much you need?" Like we had an auction.
Oh, wow.
It actually reminded me of this right here.
10 down 15 on them, I better dung bear on 15, I better dung bear on 15, 20, I better dung bear on 15, better dung bear on 20, down 5, better dung bear on 30, and 30, and 30, 25, better dung bear on 30, you want to put 30, sir, 25, ma'am, you're out, I better dung bear on 25, better dung bear on 30, 30, now 5, I'm 35, better dung bear on 40, but $40, 35, better dung 40, I'm at 35 down 40, I'm at 35 down.
Hey, bro, when you did that, I said, "What the hell?" And then I went to the next Sunday. I said, "My black ass going to jail." I was thinking of this right here. When the police gonna knock the door down, I was thinking of the policeman, bro. I would just say, every Sunday he was doing it.
That's tough, man.
He'll start off saying, he'll start off saying, "Well, I got 200 to start it off."
Yeah, that does sound like an auction.
Right.
When you say it that way, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I thought, maybe this guy got some African angels in the church or something.
Don't do it.
angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rike didi ashata. For angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now. They're coming.
That's still painful to see. That's still painful to see,
Yeah, I
cuz.
know, but I was in a situation like that in the church. I said, oh, hell.
I need my money back because I don't
Right.
believe in that word.
Give me a refund. Give me a refund.
If you praying for me, I'll take my chances.
Right. Exactly.
So, Miss Life Coach, let me ask you, is there a perception from your experience that, people think like that?
I mean, when you talk about the mega church, I am from a mega church.
Okay.
And one of the things I believe, whether it's mega, mini, if you got 5 members, 15 members, 50 or 5,000 members, here's what I think, because I'm also a pastor. So here's what I think. I think oftentimes we look at a situation and we say, oh, the pastor is taking the money from the people because they live over here or they're driving that. But do we ever stop and think that these people are in that situation based off of choices they have made, and not so much because somebody's taking their money, but their choices they have made have landed them in their particular situations. Now, do you have mega pastors that live well, drive well, eat well, and then have members sleeping in their cars? Of course you do. Of course. But how are we to know that your choices was not the cause of your situation? And
That's
then,
fair.
and then would you all accept a man or a woman of God that looked poor, drove poor, lived poor, talked poor, dressed poor? Then we would be on the opposite end of the spectrum by saying, well, if that's the God you serve and you looking like that, I don't want no part of it.
Right.
Mm.
So we kind of darned if we do, and we're darned if we don't. So,
Right.
we're still looking for that medium.
Mhm.
Mr. Carolina Dirt, when the plate got in your lap, did you start shaking it or you turn your head the other way?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I put it like this. if the plate come to me, it's based on my needs and my bills and stuff, the plate's gonna get what I can afford. As it might not be 10%,
Right.
Yeah.
but it's gonna get what I can afford.
Right.
Now,
Right.
the one problem, growing up Baptist, my mom had a problem with when people put money in the plate, they take the change out. So they put $10 in, pull $3 out, and
Yeah.
that's $7.
Right.
Now, I agree with that. That is a problem. So if the plate comes to you and you already have money, I believe, yes, you give it.
Right.
You put it in the plate. But also, in the sense of the mega churches, what I've seen in mega churches, why is there ATMs in the church?
Right.
Because to me,
Right.
that's the business part. Because now you have maintenance on that. You have a surcharge on that.
That's true.
And now you're putting it in there, telling people they have no excuse not to put money in the plate.
True.
So I have a problem with that. So I ain't gonna lie. If I'm invited to a new church, I ain't gonna put money in the plate.
Right.
I'm not. That's not my home church. I'm saying
Right.
that's just me.
Okay, I got
That's
you.
not my home church. That money is not benefiting nobody I know. If that's my first time at the church.
And man,
One
you
last
supposed to
time.
make a donation, man. You supposed to make a
No.
donation.
My donation is my attendance and me listening to what the pastor got to say. Because I feel like that, because if I put money on that plate and that's my first time at the church, I'm not helping that church out by putting $8, $9 or whatever it is in there, better than me going out preaching the word that I got and having somebody else come to that church and they become a member.
So you saying
Oh, okay.
it's basically like an auction from what the clip I played, basically.
Oh, it's a business now.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like an
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a big business, and I think that's the misconception of why a lot of people don't want to go to big churches, because why do you have a building fund for 20 years and it took me 3 years to get my credit straight to buy a house?
Right.
You know why? Because this is what it is right here. I'm only gonna play like 6 seconds.
10 down, 15 on the 9, better dang bear on 15, 9 better dang bear on 15, 20, I better dang bear on 15, better dang bear on 20, down 5 better dang better dang bear on 20, down 5.
That's the mega right there. That's the mega church.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Too small.
Pastor,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask her, like, if you see somebody not putting money in the plate while the plate going around, do you feel some type of way?
No, I don't, because you never know a person's situation. Now, I will say this. I did attend a church service, and the pastor was up, and he was trying to raise money again for the building fund that they had been working on for years. And so church was getting ready. He was getting ready to dismiss service. So he was like, he counted off and he was like, all right, everybody sit down. Ain't nobody going nowhere till I get $38 more up here. And we was like, is he serious? So we got up to head to the door. Next thing we know, the usher runs, blocks the door, closed it and locked it.
Oh.
And he would not let anybody leave out of that service until he got $38 more.
You see how you playing with my soul? Now I got to roll around on the holy carpet with you to get out this church, man.
Yep.
You ain't got to get 38 nothing out of me. Not like that.
Look, we had given 12 of the 38 and he still was not satisfied. You got at least 50 people in here at a service.
So he didn't have the 38 neither.
No.
If he's the leader of the church, he should put that $38.
I agree.
He had a quota. He had a quota.
He locked that door. He had a 38 in his pocket.
Yeah, he did.
All I know was we sat back down because we were scared.
Oh no, I would have got up. I would have left. It would have been some fun movie.
Yeah, I would have left.
Yeah.
When I was a little boy in the church, you know, the plate came to me. 7, 8. This old lady used to whisper in my ear and say, "Take a damn nickel out of there."
What kind of church you went to?
I plead the fifth.
Wow.
I'm 7 years old, so what I'm supposed to do?
Right.
Take a nickel out of there.
Take a nickel.
Well, now you know it's illegal to take change out of the offering basket when it's going around. So now you can't do that anymore. That's illegal now.
How's that illegal? That's still bringing politics into the church.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing. When I was in church, and this is what I used to think about. When that collection plate was going around and you seen all that money piled up, I used to think about the people who ain't had no money, right?
Right.
And that collection plate, boy, I said, boy, it sure look good, boy. That collection plate sure look good going around. You had all the dollars, the files, and, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
You was playing poker with your soul.
Right.
Don't you do no snatch and grab on no collection.
Right.
Hey, how many people that passed that plate thought about, you know what, I should take this whole bankroll right here and put it in my pocket?
Or what about when the collection plate is being passed and you see, because you have parishioners that will, you know, they'll make it rain for the church, because I done seen some holy knots in the church basket. And I just want to know who put it in there so I can ask them for a job.
Right.
You should have thought of taking a nickel.
Yeah, I think that's why most churches have gone to the envelope system, so that you don't know what's in the basket. And a lot of your mega churches or your bigger churches, what they do now, they don't pass the basket. They have you to bring your money and lay it on the altar or bring it up to the front and put it in the basket versus passing the basket, you know, throughout the congregation.
But sorry, go ahead.
And so I think that's because, number one, safety issues. Number two, when you're a part of a mega church, let me tell you something. We raise money in mega churches.
I know you do.
You know, and so You have to find a way to not only protect yourself, but to protect the people that are giving.
But doesn't that make it embarrassing for the person that can't get up to give money? Like when everybody else is getting up, and let's say you don't have money, or you financially right on that Sunday you're not able to give. Doesn't that psychologically put a burden on somebody to say, well, I can't get up, and everybody can see me not get up?
Well, yeah, and yes and no. Like if I'm sitting beside somebody and I notice they don't stand to go up for the offering, I'll just take something out of my hand and give it to them, so they can, come along with the offering. Now, will everybody do that? I don't think so. And I think that the people that are sitting down, I do believe they feel some kind of way about it. But I mean, you can only do what you can do. And either you're in a church that will understand that, or you need to find you another church.
Well, I think that's the business part of the church, though. That's the politics.
Yeah.
Because everybody's getting up. Everybody, like you're going to church for comfort for your soul.
Right.
And if you don't feel comfortable in any aspect of that service, it puts a burden on you because it makes you not want to go back. And if you're somebody just moved into the neighborhood, or wherever you're at a mega church, you're seeing the parking lot look nice, you're seeing the wardrobe look nice, you see the whole church setup, the band with all the instruments, you see all that. It's like when the offering comes around, it's like, I got to give something.
Yeah.
Now, if you give it, the Lord knows what you can give, what you can't give.
Right.
But in a sense, there's a path you have to cross for saying, well, I'll go ahead and get this $30 because I don't want to be embarrassed sitting down.
That's
but
true.
Then 2 weeks later, that same $30, you could have used it for something else. And the church not looking back and you asking, hey, do you need this money? Because they don't know you. You knew.
That's true. That's true.
So psychologically, it's kind of messed up.
Right.
You're right. You're right.
I'm gonna put you guys on blast real quick. Then I get back to you, Miss Life Coach. When was the last time y'all been to church to pass the plate?
What?
When was the last time all three of y'all went to a church to see the plate pass?
See, I don't feel like I have to answer that question under the guards that may incriminate me.
Put on the law. That 35, 45, 45.
When was the last time y'all went to church to see this? Right.
10 down, 15 on the 9, better dang bear on 15, 9 better dang bear on 15, 20, I better dang bear on 15, better bear on 20, I better dang bear on 15,
Last time I was there, I saw him, and I ain't go back.
Moving right along. We're gonna get into a little bit about. Would you like to add on to that, Miss Life Coach?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that a lot of times I'm gonna be honest. Okay, somebody mentioned the ATM machines in the church. Okay, Carolina Dirt mentioned it. Okay, I have seen the ATMs in churches. Me personally, I think that's a bit too far, because then what you look like more of a commercial building than you do a church, and unfortunately I've seen people, get up and announce, well, if you didn't bring your offering, we have an ATM machine out here to your right, we have one over here to your left. It's just like it does kind of sound like that auction guy, right. And unfortunately those situations are a bit intimidating. Me personally, I'm gonna confess something. I stayed home because I didn't have money. When I knew there was going to be a building fund, or if I knew it was time to make a pledge or something, I would stay home because I knew I didn't have the money.
At least kill the surcharge, man. You still charging me $3 to get this money.
Right. Because 9 times out of 10, this is not my bank I bank with. This is the bank the church banks with.
Right. And multiples of 20s. You got to get 20. Minimum 20 at $20.
That's it.
You can't go in there and get $7 or $5.
Nope. Minimum 20. That's it.
What is it? I'm just asking since you're part of church. So does the church get certain tax credits? And if so, all these big churches are actually a corporation, a small corporation who's getting a tax cut. So their intentions are not the correct intentions. My bad.
Do you have that little cricket thing?
Hey, you gotta get that cricket. You gotta get the cricket. Hey, Lee, we gotta get you the cricket, man.
I plead the fifth, Carolina.
Okay. I figured that was the look. We're gonna move right along. We're gonna talk about submissive women. I'm not putting women down. Now, Sister Meek, I'm putting a disclaimer out there for your behind, so we won't get attacked. All three of us, all four of us.
Oh, we gonna get attacked regardless, man.
Yeah. We gotta put them up. I'm not putting women down. We're just having a discussion. Meek, please give us a break. But anyways, back in the days, I would say women were more submissive. But I usually say, these new school women, oh my God, it's like you in a bullfight with them. I don't know what it is. Like, the matador, have to fight with them. They come out the door running, don't depend on no man. It's like, something like this. Let's roll it.
Come here, baby. Come here, baby.
You got to fight with, I call it the new, like we have to fight with y'all. What's Miss Life Coach? What's the problem?
Well, one of the things that happened. Look, I don't want to get beat up with y'all.
Hey, she took a deep breath with that one. Like, oh Lord, here we go.
It's like fighting a bull.
So I think it came. I think we saw a shift, not only from women, but also from the structure of the male-female relationship when this women lib thing came about. They were burning bras. They was like, "I am woman, hear me roar." I can do everything a man can do. And then it came over to our culture, and then we started saying, "Oh, I don't need no man," and unfortunately, the outcome of that is we taught our daughters. It started a trend. Big mama taught her daughter. She taught her daughter. Your grandmama taught your mama. Then your mama taught you that. Now you're going to teach your daughter, girl, get your own. Don't ever depend on the man. I get it. However, we also lost our feminine touch along the way. So now we only see submission as a negative instead of a positive. And so
hey, did you say burning bras?
I did.
Damn.
All of that was part of the women's movement to show that, we are independent, and now they got this new thing out called, boss woman, and the bad bees, and all that. Miss Independent, and then we have to look at it. So then, if we take on that role, where do our men come in?
Right.
Where will a man fit into our life, into that equation?
Well,
If we don't need a man, he can't tell us what to do. I make my own money. I got my own spot. I drive my own car, pay my own bills. I don't need no man. Okay, so let me ask you this. Your car holding you at night?
Oh, I'm going to give you a round of applause for that.
Your 5-6 figures, caressing you when you're crying. I mean, come on. I just don't think we understand what it is to be submissive. So let me read something I wrote for you. So to be submissive is to obey. I know this is going to get me in trouble with the ladies, but it's to obey or to yield to someone else. It says when you are submissive, you submit to someone else's will, which literally means you put your own desires on a lower level than theirs. And so when you are submissive, you're inclined, or listen to this one, you're ready to submit or yield. And I think one of the things that make women think that submission is really like a curse word, like a dirty word, is because we've been taught that. And I'm going to go out on a limb, and some of y'all big enough to fight for me if I get, beat up or whatever. Black women in particular see submission as a negative. When in
I believe
fact,
that. I
yeah,
believe that.
when in fact it really could work for our good, more so than making us look, docile and needy and helpless. You'll be surprised what submission really means when you get into the meat and potatoes of the word. Jay, you
Mhm.
want
And
to say something?
potatoes.
So I need the heads to explode, right? So
Uh-huh.
you giving that definition was awesome. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Submissive is a bad word. We a culture caught up on hot button words,
Mm-hmm.
and we let this word take over.
Mm-hmm.
Just real quickly,
Mm-hmm.
ladies, gentlemen in the audience that's watching this, you just watched 4 men submit to this woman to allow her to express this point. That's what just happened.
Right.
I'm done.
But a lot of women. Now I'll let T Smalls and Mr. Carolina say something. You can ask them simple things. I've had partners that say this: "Fix me something to eat." You can be done work 16 hours, and they give you a look like this right here.
Who is you?
Hey, am I lying? Tell the truth, guys. Tell the truth.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So
Okay.
I feel
Right.
like in terms of there shouldn't be any positions. There shouldn't be any positions anymore. However, you cannot lose what makes you a woman
Yeah.
based on the things that these material objects.
Right.
Now, if you truly don't need a man, you don't want one for the rest of your life, you live that life how you see fit to live it.
Right.
Because you're probably not gonna have a man. But if you are, it's nothing wrong with saying that you want to be with somebody.
Right.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I think
And there are things that come along with you being with somebody. There are
Mhm.
sacrifices that each human being has to make in order to be a union of two.
Right.
I think
So mean what you say and say what you mean. If you don't
Yeah.
want a man, live that life like you don't want one, because you won't
Right.
get one.
What do you say, Carolina?
I think there's a difference between and a lot. You got submissive, and you got what they think they're worth.
Take a
Mhm.
pause real quick. And you do take a pause. And we do have this bull right here. Don't forget. They come out the house like that. Well, go ahead.
The submissive and what they think they're worth is two different things. But some people think they're worth more than what they're really worth, as far as men and women, but especially women, because the power that they feel these last couple of years, just being job rates going up for them and all that. So, like you said, they feel they're making 6 digits. They don't need a man, but the man they really want, that the women that make a lot of money, the man that they really want, probably not gonna make what they make.
Right.
Now, the women who don't make nothing, they want that man that's making 6 digits, but they're not worth that.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so
Gotcha.
your value, your self-value
Right.
has a lot to do with it, and it's not
Mhm.
submission.
Mhm.
Now you
Go
have
ahead, brother.
you have to understand your value. You
Mhm.
can't be, and this is gonna sound weird. It ain't gonna sound weird. Forget it. You can't be drinking Hennessy at the club every week and Bud Light, and you dressing like you at Bite Week, and it's the wintertime, and think you about to get Buddy who works at Bank of America.
Right.
Right.
You're not gonna get him. Y'all not on the same wavelength.
Right.
Now the woman who's making 6 digits, Roscoe, who's a custodian at the school, might actually be your fit, but you don't want to date him because he's the custodian at the school. But if you think about it, that custodian talks to 500 different kids in an hour,
Yeah.
which means mentally he might be able to handle your child.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't want that because you think it'll be you don't want to make the compromise to be submissive to say he's the head of the house, but he's a custodian, because you don't want to go to your friends and be like, yeah, I make 6 digits a year, but yeah, I got this dude who's making $14.95 and he got to work 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
But
He'll
he
do
home
a
every
little
night.
secret that they keep.
Yeah, he home every night.
And Roscoe might have that missing tooth. They don't want him.
With 6 figures, she can get that mouth fixed, cuz.
Right.
How much you really care?
Hey, snagger too.
So let me ask you guys a question, if I may.
Mhm.
All right.
Let me ask you guys a question. So when you guys think about submission, and let's speak in terms of from a woman, what exactly comes to your mind?
I'm gonna show you real quick. Most men, all we
I
want
don't
to
know if he's speaking for me.
hold on.
Okay, okay.
There you go.
Hey, all we want to do is, how, and you come on. That's it. We don't want to hear nothing else, just how. That's all we want.
So you just
Come on,
want to
come
be
on.
able to say something and she responds according to whatever you say. You don't want to have no discussion about it.
Yeah, all that respectfully.
Okay.
Respectfully, but most men are alpha males. So like, I'm gonna play this again. We just want to do a little how. Come here, baby. Call it a day. What you got to say about that, Jay Walker?
Hey.
No. Most men ain't alpha males. That's a small group.
Okay.
Now there might be 4 alpha males on this panel, but it's not a whole bunch of them widespread across the world.
Okay.
Right.
When I say about submission, the kind of submission that I want from my partner, don't embarrass me. Don't undermine me. Don't emasculate me. I come from a household where my mother is the ruler of the house, logistically speaking. But she submits to my father in his bullshit when he say something or kind of go left.
Right.
Okay.
I'll let you have that. You feel me? So submission to me is having those moments. Maybe I'm not always 100 on my thing, or on whatever I'm doing or whatever I'm saying. But that is no cause for you to out me to your friends and your mama and whoever's on Facebook.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
So submission to you then has more to do with respect
and honor. Correct.
And honor. Okay.
I think it's a lot of guys, man, that probably can agree with what Jay Walken is saying, because that's all we want, man. Just respect us. I know we're not gonna always be right, but when we wrong, respect us. When we right, respect us. When we wrong, let's go in this room and talk about what I'm wrong about. Don't put me out there in front of everybody who don't need to be in our business. Don't put me out there like that. Say, look, come here. I'm gonna tell you what I got a discrepancy about. Let's go in this room. We're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it and move on. Don't embarrass me. Don't show out in front of your family because you feel like, okay, I'm with my family now. I got the upper hand because I know you ain't gonna do nothing. That type of that type of deal. Right. You know, all we ask is just the respect that we give you. We not gonna nag you, because we had a session about women nagging too. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against that, but we got some women that nags too. But that's auto respect. That's all about, you know what I'm saying? When you nag it, hey, look, we not gonna nag you, so don't nag us. That's respect. That's what we want. That's the submissive part about being a woman, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. I mean, that's all I got on that take as far as a man being submissive. Whatever you want me to do, goes back to that saying that you said, women don't need a man. Okay, so what's gonna happen when you need to put paint on them walls, when you need that sink fixed? You know what I'm saying? When you need that car, with that, I gotta change a car battery or something like that. The simple things that men do that you feel like you don't need men for. You know what I'm saying? Instead of paying $20, $30, $40 for somebody to come to your house or go to a shop to to pay overpriced for something that a man in your house that you got, you know what I'm saying, that can do those type of things. Don't never say you don't need a man for nothing. Those are the little things that they don't look at. You know what I'm saying? They don't look at them little things until the time comes up, and then they be calling. They call Double Axel, they call Carolina Dirt, they call Jay Walker. Hey man, could you fix the sink for me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what we talk about. That's all we ask. That's it.
So Carolina Dirt, what do you think? What comes to your mind when you think about a woman being submissive?
My motto ever since I was young was don't make a situation worse.
Yeah.
All the rah stuff. If we into it, don't buck at me too hard.
Yeah.
Don't put me in a situation that I'm gonna have to jeopardize who I am as a man because you want to feel comfortable. You feel like you got the upper hand.
Okay.
Right.
And now each man is different. Each relationship is different. The same man that can take a motor out your car might not be the man you with, but that's the same man that cook a 5-course meal. So the idea is different. What you need is what you need for, as far as you and that person that you with, and that's your decision of who you with. But the person you decided, you already knew the type of man he was, what he could do and what he can't do.
That's true.
So don't be surprised later on when that is brought up, and now you on some, well, shit. I mean, my bad. It'd be like, man, I will call Brian. Well, call Brian.
Go call him.
Call him, because I'm not about to jeopardize who I am as a man to handle this when you on some raw stuff. You only doing that to piss me off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't you think that's being manipulative when
But
women
that's not
say,
being
well,
submissive neither.
if you're
because
not gonna do it, I call somebody else. I think that's a bit manipulative to try to get you out of your place and see what buttons they can push when they do that kind of thing.
But
and
that's
sometimes we're not gonna like those buttons that we tend to push on purpose.
Right.
Yeah, that's not being submissive though, because you know at that point of the anger escalating, or whatever it is.
I think generally speaking, like, and well, generally speaking for me, got to stop speaking for everybody. Of course, we want our women to believe in us. That in the instruction that we give, you know what I'm saying, that they can trust and believe that it's okay to do what I'm asking them to do. You feel me? Like, we don't want to leave that part out. There is a certain amount of responsibility and leadership that a man has.
Right.
So that goes back to the alpha male. Every male doesn't have the capacity to grasp what they need to do as a leader. You feel me? And that allows opinionated women to give their input. If a man speaks with sense, generally speaking, other men will follow. And if other men will follow, other women will follow too.
Yeah.
But if you ain't making no sense, they gonna have rebuttals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I want to just real quick, I want to just give the women that are on and the women that are listening, I just want to give you 5 points real quick. What makes a woman submissive? Because I think a lot of times when we hear the word submissive, we think, oh, he won't control me. Oh, he want to tell me what to do, you know, but I think we have got it so misconstrued that we stop teaching women how to be submissive. We teach them how to be the boss. We teach them how to do this, but we don't teach them how to be submissive. So I just wrote 5 little things, 5 words down that really constitute a submitted woman. And you're going to be surprised to hear these words. The first thing that a submitted woman will exude is her strength. Well, strength doesn't mean I'm going to show him how strong I am. The strength means that I'm able to withstand force, that I have resilience, that whatever I go through, I can bounce back from it. That's the strength that comes with being submissive. Not, oh, I'm going to show him I could do the same thing he does. No, a man don't want you as women to do the same thing he does. If that's the case, he can either be by himself or he'll be with another man. Number two,
Wow.
number two, when you're a submissive woman, you're gonna have courage. Well, why do I need courage to be submissive? Because it shows how brave you are. You got to be brave enough to say, listen, this is both of our worlds, you know, and I'm not afraid to share it with you. Number three, okay, number three, you have to maintain your femininity, ladies.
Mm.
I'll say that again. You have to maintain your femininity. Well, what is femininity? Femininity is your behavior. It's your character. When you're talking to your man, you know, he's talking to you and you off like this. You know, that's not feminine. He's not getting the right energy from you. Even if he's saying something you disagree with. Okay, babe. Okay. You're right. You're right. And watch how smooth that whole situation. It could be hostile. But if a woman takes the right position and insert her feminine energy into that hostile situation, I'm telling you, ladies that are listening, he has no choice but to bring that tone down because your feminine energy has come in and captured him in a way, and he'll be like, man, what was I mad at her about?
Hey, look, made the CD in our head skip. Be like,
I'm trying.
wait a minute now.
Exactly.
Right.
And then the next
about
thing
to get
you
on
know,
your
he'll
ass.
be like, you want to go get something to eat? Yes, I do. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, man, let's get
You
a
know,
sandwich.
Right. Number four, a woman that will submit is wise. She has wisdom. That means she has a knowledge. Listen to this, ladies, and good judgment. I think Jay Walker was saying that when you have issues with your man, leave that at home. Because a wise woman would know, don't run out there and tell your mama, your girlfriend, you know, your pastor, all of that. Because what's going to happen when they get a chance to finally meet him, you and him back on good terms, but now you got everybody else mad at him because you don't went and told all the bad stuff that he does, but you never shared the good stuff that he does. So in order to be a submissive woman, you got to have some wisdom and some good judgment. And then the last one, and then I'm finished, you got to have clarity. In order to be a submissive woman, you got to have clarity. That means you got to learn how to be transparent, be coherent in your thinking. You got to have some kind of intelligence about yourself. You just can't run off. And I hate to say it like this because it kind of sounds negative. You just can't just go running your mouth all the time. You know, the Bible says study to be quiet. You know, sometimes we just got to sit back. I learn more from just listening to men talk sometimes. And that is a place of clarity. So if you don't understand something your man is saying, ask him, well, honey, did you mean this right here? Or I didn't understand when you said this right here. Don't go ask your friend what your man meant. Don't go ask your pastor what your man meant. Don't go ask your mama what your man meant because they don't know. You got to go talk to him. And I think that's where we're missing what submission really means. Strength, courage, femininity, wisdom, and clarity.
I like those comments. We're going to put some disclaimer on it. We, as men on here, we're not male chauvinists because I seen a comment about that. But Miss Life Coach.
I might be a little bit.
Hold on 1 second. Well, maybe. Miss Life Coach.
Yes, sir.
Say an African American man, we got that woman that's that bull, that strong-headed bull. Mm-hmm. And it's always the conception that Black males would tend to go to a white woman. Do you think that could be a cause of that?
I mean, that's what they say is the cause of it.
Yes.
A lot of times I've heard Black men say, well, white women or other women are more easier to deal with than Black women because Black women come across, you know, kind of bullheaded, kind of angry, kind of, you know, with this attitude all the time. I don't necessarily disagree with it all, but I don't necessarily agree with it either. I think you have to take it on a case by case and individual by individual, because let's be honest, some women were not raised to know how to talk to a man. They know what they saw,
Yes.
so they repeat what they see. And then some women were taught by watching mother serve daddy.
Right.
So you have to take it on a case by case basis.
Right.
Right.
A lot of black women always like to use, from my experience and talking to other black males, that, a term that says that I'm not going to bow down, which really, you're not really what you bowing down to. I mean, what do y'all think about that?
I think it's for me, I think it's the words we use and the energy that we give off. You feel me? If we took the time to use our words,
Mm-hmm.
people would have a better understanding of what you mean or what you intend. But once we get frustrated, we be like, "Go ahead with that bullshit."
Yep.
You know what I mean? We don't speak it out and just say what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guilty of it, but most people are guilty of it.
Mm-hmm.
If we would just kind of slow down and be like, okay, before my head pop off, that's how I know I'm slowing down. I'm growing up, because that's my line. Now, before my head pop off, let's get some things straight.
Mm-hmm.
1B3. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
1B3.
Hey, look.
1B3.
Hey, look.
That
It's
sounds
my
like
medicine.
Right.
It's my medicine. I'm sorry.
B3.
But y'all understood what I meant.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel me? It's all about the level of communication that we take. This world is microwave everything. We expect things to happen immediately.
Mm-hmm.
When women say, I ain't taking no bull off you or whatever,
Yeah.
it's because they know they dealing with a bullshitting man.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
If it was the kind of man that was of some quality, that doesn't come up.
Right.
There's
I
no
agree with
reason
that.
for it to come up if
Mm-hmm.
she believes in what she sees.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
stop dating men that you already know ain't shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you say, Carolina? Oh, small. Either one of y'all. It don't matter.
Go ahead, Carolina. Go ahead, Doc.
I was gonna say, just see if y'all agree with me. So back in the day, when we were slaves, right? Our ancestors were slaves, right?
That's right.
That's right. The
Okay.
white man used to beat the black man, right? Rape the black women, right?
All right.
So isn't that some insecurity as a black man? You watching your wife get raped by a white man. So now you fast forward to the 50s and the 60s. After we free, they still beating the black man in the street.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
And send him back home to the woman who's supposed to care for him and give him strength, and still send him back to work with that white man to disrespect him because we need bills.
Mm.
So you fast forward past that, and now women want equal rights.
Mm.
So their equal rights is to stand up. Well, when you do that, the black man is still trying to heal.
Mm.
He doesn't want to have to deal with confrontation at work from a white man and deal with a black woman at home.
Yeah.
So then he goes to another race who's going to say, yeah, I'll suck your toes and cook you dinner.
Right.
But the black woman is still saying, well, I want my pride and I'm going to stand strong with or without you, and I do without you. So there's no more healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, do y'all feel like that has something to do with it as far as what we're talking about?
Yeah.
The Willie Lynch letters is real.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the whole if you break the bull,
Yeah.
not the man, if you break the bull in front of the woman,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
she will lose respect for the man and in turn find protection or support in his white ass.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
What you got to say
Beat
about that?
you, burn you, tie you to two different horses, and rip your fucking body apart in front of a black woman.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
they
what was
raped
in
the
those
men
letters.
too.
Yeah, but if you fast forward, that's where we're at now. But there's no comfort as far as black women say they want to stand strong because the black man has technically got weaker in mind.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to deal with what we got to deal with at work, and then you go home and you got women who's trying to be more independent. And as a black woman, you want to show your strength even more when you're not listening. That black man has went through a rough ass day. You don't know what he went through, just to make sure there's food on the table.
Yeah.
So when he gets home, that's part of the. That's part of the.
I mean, he at work. He got to deal with the BS.
Yeah.
And then he come home. He got to deal with the BS.
Yeah.
You know
that's part of the submissive part.
Yeah.
Yeah. That goes. You're right. That goes back to being submissive. Okay, if a man had a bad day at work,
mm-hmm.
you know, he might got an attitude. You don't know what he got the attitude for. Well, you can guess why. Like, okay, he just came home from work. Something going on at work. I'm gonna let him calm down. Why not let him calm down? Do what he got to do. Relax, and then talk to him instead of being like, you know, you got to do this. You know, you got to do that. You know, this door in this garage got to be fixed. You know that right there it's going to add to the level of pressure that he just got home from. Yeah. You know that he got a lot of pressure on him because he done had a bad day at work. Instead of saying, look, honey, I got your bath water ready. I got your clothes ready, man, for you to go in the shower or whatever. You go ahead, relax yourself, and then we'll talk about how your day was. Right. Or get home and say, hey, honey, how your day was. Instead of being like, look, we got to do this. We got to do that. Why you can't do this? We've been waiting on this for 2 weeks, this, that, and the other, so-and-so the case. We don't need that in our life, man. We don't need that.
This is true.
That's true.
When I was a little younger, I've seen my grandfather told my grandmother, he said, I'll be damned if I'm gonna get hell hack on the job, and I go through the door, and you gonna hell hack me too.
Right.
That's a true story.
It is. I think that's important to know when he needs our feminine energy the most is when he comes in from the cold world, as we call it. You know, because it's a dog world out there. It's cold world out there. Mm-hmm. And it even multiplies itself for our black men. You know, just like Carolina was saying, we still see our black men sometimes as subservient to other races of men. Mm-hmm. But if we change, I'm talking about women, particularly black women, if we change how we see our black men, and then we'll start respecting them more. We'll start treating them better, and we'll learn to listen. I have a lot of male friends, and one of my friends in particular, here's what he said to me. He said, Nita, one thing I want you to always do, I want you to learn to listen to what a man says. Right. Because men are not very expressional. You know, we get emotional, we get hyped up. You know, if you come home and I say, well, what's wrong? Ain't nothing wrong. So that don't really mean nothing's wrong. That means give me a few minutes. Just give me a few minutes. Right. But what we tend to do, what you mean ain't nothing wrong? Yep. Why you coming in here looking all sad? You need this. You know, it's just like, okay, give him a few minutes. I promise you, if you learn how to create a safe space for your man, he will talk to you. He will talk to you. But all that, my daddy used to call it hell hacking. You know, all that hell hacking you doing, that's not going to make him talk. If anything, it's going to make him shut down even the more. So then you leave your man with two choices. Either he's going to explode because he's holding everything in, or he's going to find somebody that knows how to make him feel safe enough so he can open up and talk.
Right.
Moving right along, let's get into do what the pastor say. Now that actually goes on. A lot of women fantasize over male pastors. I don't know if a female fantasize over female. That's not my thing. But a lot of women really believe in that male pastor, do what he say. And sometimes that can tear down the home. I was in a situation like that. I'm going to admit it. That happened, you know, and come to find out, he's not no more devil than me. You know what I'm saying? But
you know,
what really goes into a woman's thought process when a pastor can control the house? Sometimes it's not the man's fault. It's just that I don't know if it's a fantasy. What is it? I mean, what do y'all?
Can I give you my theory?
Yeah.
A pastor or a man of the cloth ain't no different than an R&B singer, cuz.
Telling you a dream.
Ooh, yeah.
Right there, T Smalls. Like my point is very short. You look at most pastors, especially in black churches, if they're a successful pastor with a flourishing congregation, they sound like this. They have baritone. They have swag. They might have dance moves. He might throw up the west side. You feel me?
Yeah.
And the spotlight is on him. Everybody's there to see him.
Right.
He ain't no different than an R&B singer, cuz if it's KC and JoJo on there singing All My Life and him praying all your sins away.
Right.
Yeah, you got
before hold on a second. Before
you can save me, take me.
Before the rest of y'all comment, before I forget, about 3 years ago was like New Year's Eve watch service. I was talking to an old lady. She argued me down because I didn't agree with what her pastor said. True story. They were mad at me.
Hey, all my life I pray for someone like you.
Hey, but you got to look at how the pastor stands in the church. The pastor stands a foot, 2 feet higher than everybody else in the congregation. So then everybody's looking up to perfection because he's supposed to be the one actually talking to God or God sending him certain signs, so they say.
So he can talk to you.
Yeah, so the perfection is you in a nice suit. Everything around you materialistically looks great.
Right.
Now you're trying to help me with my soul because the Lord is talking to you or talking through you to me. So my idea of you is perfection almost. It's a certain level of perfection. But it's all a lie. It's the same pimp that been in the streets in the 60s, 70s. He got the same Cadillac, the long suit, the gold rings. He's talking the same slick talk that he was talking before. Now, is he touching you or is he really touching you? Because
I think that's the question.
Yeah, because if he's touching you, you know not to touch back. But is he really touching you for you to touch back?
Yeah, maybe African angels might have something to do with that.
Hey, Barry White.
That's what you preach.
I'm just saying I can understand how a woman seeking counsel, legitimately seeking counsel, goes into a closed chamber with this man. A man that got a lot of answers to your questions. The more questions that he answers, the more comfortable you get.
True.
And where the mistake comes in is you tell him the secret, understanding that he may be able to help you. Now, at this point, he has a choice to make what he does with your secret.
Use it to his advantage.
And some use it to their advantage.
Hey,
Because
man,
I'm about to call the deacon and be like, hey, you know, I'm about to get old girl, right?
Hey, they got to do it. They got to do it like the doctor. They got to do it like the doctors. They got to do it like the doctors do it, man. Confidentiality, man. When somebody come and confess one of their deepest, darkest secrets to you, you got to have that confidentiality between you and that person. You can't say, hey, man, you ain't gonna believe what such and such just told me, boy. God, dog. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that, man. As a pastor, man, you got to keep it confidential.
Yeah.
I think that if there's no, abuse or danger in the relationship, I think as women, if we feel like we can't talk to our husband or our spouse or our significant other or what have you, this just me talking. My pastor would probably be the last person I would try to talk to. Me personally, I would go outside and get a professional counselor instead of going to my pastor. Well, why would I say that? Well, because my goal is to hopefully get my husband or my partner to come to church with me. But if every time I go home from church and he's not doing something I want him to do, I start throwing up, well, Pastor said, and Pastor said. But see, if you was a real man like Pastor, see right there, that's what we do as women. I've heard it done so many times. So now you got your man feeling like he got to be in competition with your pastor. And that right there, that's a whole level of disrespect to your man.
Right.
He's not gonna want to come to that church. If he does, he coming to check out the pastor. He ain't coming to hear no word. He coming to see who his competition is.
Wow.
Right. Say most women, you know, a lot of single women in the church. One thing about them pastors, I'm not putting pastors down. We're just having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to get that offering.
Yeah.
10 down, 15 on the mind, better dang bear on 15, 9 better dang bear on 15, 20, 9 better dang bear on 15.
You and this thing on
Yeah.
Hey, man.
But they get it mostly from women.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw a situation. Let's see how I can say this without. I saw a situation. It was income tax time.
Uh-oh.
And the woman was married.
Balling on a budget.
And it was building fund time.
That building fund an evil word, evil phrase.
So what she did was, without speaking to her husband, she donated the whole income tax check. So when he checked the account, the money that he knew they were expecting back for taxes was not there.
Wow.
So he asked her, well, I signed a check over so you could put it in the bank. What'd you do with it? Oh, we had a building fund at church, and they were calling for X amount of dollars. So I just gave the whole check as our seed offering.
Come again and say what now?
As their seed offering.
Come again and say what now?
Seed offering.
With who money? Who
With
seeds?
their money. Their money. She gave the whole entire income tax check. So when he told her that, you know, I'll never be for men putting their hands on women. Never, ever, 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 never will I be for that. He told her, you got X amount of days, go back to that church and get my money. Do I think he was wrong for that? No. Do I think she was wrong for giving the whole check without talking to him? Yes.
Absolutely.
But it goes to show
Definitely.
how easy women can be manipulated into giving money without even talking to their husbands.
Hold on. Are you a parakeet? Because a parakeet like to repeat their words. Say that again.
It just goes to show how easily women can be manipulated into giving money, even money that belongs to their husband. One lady, she took out a $20,000 loan against her home without telling her husband and donated $20,000 to the church. We see it all. We see it all. We see it all. And I can talk to both ends because I see it all.
I'm going to that church and I'm going to ask one question.
What you going to ask?
I want my $20,000 back. That's it. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah. But he didn't know. He didn't know.
From then on, here go the shenanigans.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
so
guess what?
How would you guys handle it if your spouse or significant other signed a loan or took out a loan and you know, signed your
Hey,
name and gave all the money to the church. How
you ever
did you
saw
handle it?
You ever saw that movie called Color Purple?
Yeah.
You told Harpo to
Hey Jay, they walk in 1 minute. How would you handle it? Give me 1 minute.
Something bad's gonna happen to me, guys. There's something bad gonna happen to it. Like, I don't know. I'd like to be like, I'm a gentleman enough. I'm mature enough to be like, I would handle it responsibly.
20 grand.
I don't know what I do, cause and I'm gonna err on the side of fucking shit up.
20,000, dog.
20,000. Yeah. Dollars.
What you got, Carolina?
I feel that if we together and we share an account, you know my craziness. So you should not feel comfortable at that moment to say yes.
I can tell you what I'm gonna do.
What you
I'm
gonna
going
do?
to church on Sunday. I'm gonna wait till, after the what they call a testimony or what they call that.
Right.
What they call it? It's a certain word they use when they're opening up. I forgot the word they call it. When you open up.
Devotion.
Devotion. I'm gonna wait till the two old men sit their ass down. I ain't gonna mess with them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show my black ass.
Hey,
I'm gonna shout. I'm gonna fake like I'm shouting all the way to the pulpit. Me and the pastor gonna have to talk in front of everybody. I'm gonna open the Bible up, all that.
You gonna call them angels too?
I'm gonna call them angels. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call the angels. I'm gonna call them like this right here.
Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata teda baka sanda.
Just like that right there. I'm gonna call the angels just like that, and we're gonna have a good old time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
$20,000, dog.
That's a lot of money.
Baby, I wanted to help the building fund. Well, how the hell you gonna help the building fund? They ain't building nothing.
Right.
We had a good time tonight. I really enjoyed myself. How about y'all?
I did
Oh,
too.
man.
Thank you for the
Always
invitation.
good conversations with you, brother.
Always, man. Always.
One more time in closing, I'm gonna go around the table. Mr. J, what you got? 30 seconds.
Hey man, look, I enjoy coming to these little functions and shindigs. I'm glad he keep calling me out. You have a great group of people and supporters here. Thank you, life coach.
You're welcome.
You've been awesome hearing your opinions. It's been a great night.
My pleasure.
What you got, Smalls? 30 seconds.
Look, man, you know me, man. This is T Smalls, man. We keep it real up under the tree, man. I got some knowledge from the life coach today, man. Ladies, I hope y'all been listening today. The life coach has spoken. That's all I got to say.
What you got, Carolina? 30 seconds.
I want y'all to motivate and success. Whatever you do, if it ain't, just motivate success.
Miss Life Coach, what you got? I'll let you say some closing words before we finish up.
I just want to remind everybody, more specifically the women, that submission is not a dirty word. And can I tell you this from experience? Submission will open more doors than you can open with your words.
Woo! Amen.
Amen.
I had a good time. Mr. Smalls, let's say a little prayer before we go. Hit it.
Thank you, Lord, for all us coming together tonight. Thanks for the life coach, man. Thanks for everybody on this panel. Thank you, man. And bless everyone as they go upon their journeys tonight. Keep them safe. Keep everybody healthy. And in your name, Lord, amen.
Amen. Amen.
If anybody try to take over your house, you might have some women on here that might have gotten mad. You might pick your house
You
over.
can call me.
Yeah,
you
like
can call me, cuz.
like that.
Hey, whatever they want to do, you can call me.
Yeah.
Don't forget to wear your mask.
You to clean up, man, dog.
Don't forget to wear your mask. Corona is real. We have folks dying. I think it's 300,000, somewhere in there.
Something like that. We high now. We up there.
Yeah, we pretty high. We love everybody. Thanks for watching. Let's talk under the tree. I'm Mr. Palmer. Double Axel, Jay Walking, Carolina Dirt, T Smalls in the house, Miss Life Coach, Miss Benita Bailey. And y'all have a good night. Be safe and dress warm. We out of here.